Okay, this is Clayton from Star Communities First. Clayton, can you tell us something first of all about what your organisation does?
Okay, so Communities First is a Welsh Government funded programme, and it's around tackling poverty and improving people's lives. So Star Communities First works to engage local people living in the Splot, Adamsdown, Tremorfa, Plasnewid sort of growth area, and it's to help them either look for work and gain employment or go into volunteering. It's also, we run a number of health projects to help people improve their health eating and to get back into exercise, improve their fitness. And my role is adult learning, so it's to put on a range of education classes in the community to get people to improve their confidence, to gain a qualification, and hopefully then make them more employable or go on into university.
Right, so the people you deal with are not exclusively refugees or asylum seekers, it's anybody who needs that sort of help and support.
Yeah, so it's anybody living in Splot, Tremorfa, Adamsdown and Plasnewid, and we actively target those areas, and we have a number of refugees and asylum seekers that are on our classes as well.
Right, okay. So what does Refugee Week Wales mean to you and your organisation?
Okay, so for Refugee Wales Week, we've got an adult learners event tomorrow at Trinity Methodist Church. We have 5 education providers come in and private tutors putting on a range of education tasters, so computers, basic English conversation, jewellery, complementary therapy, and Refugee Week is all about encouraging refugees and asylum seekers to come along to the event, to take part in activities to improve their confidence, find out about community education classes, but it's also about breaking down barriers, making them feel part of the wider community, making new friends and networks, and having information about the day that can improve their lives.
Right, okay, thank you, Clayton. Thanks for doing the interview.
Thank you.
And we've had a number of workshops that have been running. There's one still going on over here. Should have finished at 12.
And that's a workshop in what?
This is run by Trosgunnell's Fair and Square project, which is about advocacy for young asylum seekers.
Right.
And providing advocacy for them to support them, because there's nothing out there for them.
Right.
And again, for those same reasons that they don't know where to go to get help. So that's
I'd like to introduce you to E. Marvellous. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Can you tell us something about where you're from, first of all?
From London originally. Then I moved to Cardiff. I've been here, say, about 4.5 years now. And I work as care assistant for the homeless, which is called the Huggard Centre.
Right.
So it's like for the people that's had substance misuse problems and stuff like
Right.
that. And I enjoy doing that kind of work because it's like you're doing something for the community, basically. I mean, so yeah. And I'm into music as well, as you gathered.
Yeah.
That's my name, E. Marvellous.
Yeah.
I've been doing music like on and off for years.
Right, so what are your sort of influences?
Influences, I used to work with a member of what's the name of that group? Prodigy. There was a guy called Keith from Prodigy. You heard that song, Firestarter?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I used to work with his cousin.
Right.
She used to be in a group called the X Posse years ago, in the mid-80s, Overlord X.
Right.
I used to be like, he used to be my producer back in the days and stuff like that, but he didn't really hit off in London. So now I'm in Cardiff. I'm just trying to pick up from where I left off, basically.
Right.
And put something back into the community for the youngsters as well.
Right, and you're a rap artist.
And I'm a rap artist.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you got sort of particular topics that you rap about, or?
Well, I'll have like fun raps and like society, what's going on positive lyrics, like, you know what I mean, and lyrics that make sense as well.
Right. Did you know before you got involved in this week? Did you know much about Refugee Week Wales?
No.
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 No. Okay. So
what I'm going to start doing is like my research and.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The thing is, when I don't know something, I always do my research.
Absolutely.
So that way, it's like concrete information.
Yeah.
Instead of just listening to hearsays.
Right. Okay. So, but you've not had a lot of experience yet as a rap artist, just.
Well, I've done stuff in America. I went to New York. I met Fat Joe. I've seen what's the name, the Method Man, Wu-Tang Clan, and stuff like that. And at that time, I was just trying to get my demos in. Trying my best to like get on the music circuit, and I realised things like that doesn't just come overnight.
No.
You have to work at it to make yourself prosperous.
Because presumably there are hundreds of people in your position trying to do the same thing.
Exactly. So you have to be different, that stands out from the rest of the crowd, and obviously that way you can go forward.
Right.
But I don't give up. The struggle continues.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a fighter, not a quitter.
Yeah, great. Well, I think that's brilliant. Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. Okay. Joining E Marvellous is now Shazan Poetess. Hi, Shazan. Can you first of all tell us where you're from?
I'm from London,
Right.
so the Croydon part of London.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how did you get started with writing poetry?
I started writing poetry in about 2001. Actually, I was still going to church at the time, and I started off writing Christian poetry, and basically my poetry has evolved as my spiritual walk and self-development has evolved. So I tend to write my poetry based around where I am at in life.
Right. Does that mean it's less Christian now than it was? Or?
Yeah. So I haven't been to church for about 7 years now.
No, right, okay. Right, so your topics are about your life experiences and
basically, and my spiritual journey. So as I'm learning certain things, like around 2007 when I stopped going to church, I started learning universal law. So I was writing, a lot of my material was based around universal laws at the time, and just learning about the power of the mind, writing about how important your thoughts are, that your thoughts are creative, and so basically everything I was learning was just coming out in my poetry and my art.
Right.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
Shazan? Well, it was actually a name that I got when I was about 14, when I was still at school, and I was just doodling, and the name just appeared in the doodles. And I was a blocked writer and artist for over 20 years, so it was just something that stayed in the back of my mind. And then as I was going through the process of unblocking as a writer and an artist, that name just came back to name my inner child. So it's actually the name of my inner child.
Oh, brilliant. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because we dealt with young bands, and we always found that young bands always started off by having a name. They couldn't play an instrument, but they got the name going first of all.
That's right. That's exactly how it was with me, because when I wrote my first poem, it was called My Artist Child. I hadn't really started writing or painting, but in the poem I was saying, my inner child, she wanted to write, she wanted to paint, she wanted to dance, she wanted to sing, and I wasn't doing any of those things at the time, but that was just an expression of what my inner child wanted to do.
Right.
And so it was years after that I did unblock as a writer and an artist, and I've written books now, and I've got paintings. And
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So how did you get the name E Marvellous?
See, people used to call me E for short, and the teacher used to say, "You're marvellous, you are." so I put them together, E Marvellous. But really, the real reason I'm using that name, I'm saying it from, it's a name that you never forget, and people use it in jest all the time. So like, bloody marvellous, things like that.
Well, where I come from in Lancashire, we use E as an E by gum, so it's E Marvellous.
Yeah. So it's just not just the name just for the sake of having it. There's like there's meanings behind it. Right. That's the reason why I put that name.
So Shazan, what do you hope to do in the near future? Just carry on developing yourself and your writing?
I want to travel the world.
All right.
as a performer, and what I do, my art, with my books, because I've used my artwork and my poetry to illustrate my books, so they all kind of interlinked. So my plan is to now travel, mainly America to start with, and just take my work and share it with as many people as possible.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
I plan to make a good impact on the youths of today and tomorrow.
Yes.
Positive direction.
Yeah, we found yesterday, talking to a lot of the refugees, how positive they were when they've actually gone through some awful experiences, but they're still positive, they're still upbeat, they still believe in the human spirit, you know, and that's really, it was really encouraging yesterday to have that.
You've
Great
got to have
stuff.
a positive outlook on everything. Even if you're going for a bad patch, you've got to think positive. Because if the minute you start thinking negative, you're going to end up giving up.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree with you.
That's not my way of dealing with life. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just keep going up, constantly going up, elevation.
Yeah, and I find I try not to regret things I've done or not done, because it's finished.
That's right.
You start now. And
That's it,
if
exactly.
there's something you haven't done, do it now.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way you're going to be able to go back in time to change the past. That's a myth.
So focus on where you are now,
Yeah, exactly.
rather than
Agree.
the past or the future even.
Yeah.
It's recent. In fact, this week I was listening to the audio book, The Power of Now,
All right.
and how important it is to just stay, focused on where you are now, and just be grateful for where you are at this present point in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marvelous and I, we've known each other for like about 12 years or something like
I'll
that.
say more than that.
More than 12 years, yeah. So when our children were little, they used to go to the same school.
Oh,
So
never.
we just kind of kept in contact all these years.
That's
and now,
really good.
well, he's written a reply to one of my poems, actually, which we're going to be performing this evening.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. So you're going to perform the poem and you're going to do the
And he's
reply?
gonna- yes.
Excellent. I look forward to that. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks ever so much for the interview. It was
Thank
really
you.
good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
let's